Edwin Hubble, planets rotate, and you are sitting, the biggest threat to your health. Have you ever woken up to a day that felt ripe with potential, only to sense that vague heaviness tugging at your limbs, that unshakable inertia chaining you to your chair or couch, eroding your motivation hour by hour? Maybe you catch yourself scrolling mindlessly through social media or slouching at your desk, so physically idle that your muscles almost seem to whisper for movement. Now imagine Edwin Hubble, the very astronomer who discovered that the entire universe is expanding, appearing beside you. He casts that keen, observant gaze at your posture, your day spent mostly in a chair, and remarks, "Planets rotate, entire solar systems revolve, galaxies drift apart across cosmic distances, and yet you remain sitting. That is your biggest health threat." It sounds like an odd scolding from a man we associate with the grandest revelations about space and time. But rumor insists he believed that if the cosmos never stands still, perhaps we too must remain in motion, lest we pay a steep price in accelerated aging and disease. By the end of this sprawling tale, you might discover how that cosmic metaphor could transform your approach to daily activity. And in the final moments, an unexpected angle will emerge, revealing that planets rotate, and you are sitting. The biggest threat to your health might not be hyperbole at all, but a principle bridging astronomy and preventive medicine in the most surprising way possible. We typically celebrate Edwin Hubble for identifying that what we once called spiral nebulae were, in fact, entire galaxies beyond our own, and for quantifying the relationship between a galaxy's distance and its rate of recession, thus setting the stage for the Big Bang Theory. Yet behind that cosmic scale, rumor says Hubble also noticed a parallel in daily life. Everything in nature, from the orbits of planets to the swirling of atoms, thrives in motion. Total inertia is rare. He might have marveled that humans, especially in modern times, choose to defy that cosmic principle by spending hours upon hours in sedentary pursuits, ignoring the silent harm building up in their bodies. The rumor also suggests he saw how the astrolab environment, where scientists might sit for hours analyzing photographic plates, foster back pain, circulatory issues, and other subtle ailments. Over time, he allegedly concluded that, just as the universe expands, we must expand ourselves daily, physically, mentally, emotionally, or face an internal collapse that mirrors the meltdown of a star. Thus came the bold statement, "Planets rotate, and you are sitting, the biggest threat to your health," an ironic condemnation of how we defy the cosmic dance by refusing to move. Now, at first, one might scoff. Plenty of people sit, and not all of them suffer dramatic health crises. But modern science begs to differ. We know that extended sitting correlates with higher risks of cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, certain cancers, and musculoskeletal problems. The body craves consistent light movement to maintain healthy blood flow, preserve muscle tone, and keep cellular processes from stagnating. Over years or decades, that deficiency of motion might accelerate biological aging, leading to earlier onset of diseases typically associated with older age. The rumor that Hubble singled out sitting as the biggest health threat aligns strangely well with the 21st century concept of sitting disease. So while the language might sound flamboyant, planets rotate, and you are sitting, the biggest threat to your health. The principle resonates. If you think about it, the cosmos is never still. Electrons orbit nuclei, planets spin on axes, stars revolve in galaxies, galaxies drift in clusters. Humans alone, or so Hubble might suggest, adopt an unnatural stasis that undermines the dynamic design of existence. If you repeatedly ignore that cosmic law of motion, your body quietly pays the price in stiff joints, compromised circulation, and escalated disease risk. The rumor suggests Hubble realized this synergy of cosmic analogy and bodily truth is more than mere metaphor. It points to a fundamental law of healthy living. But how might we see Hubble, the deep sky observer, bridging his cosmic vantage with daily movement? Possibly he recognized a parallel. In the cosmic realm, gravitational orbits keep planets stable. But if a planet were to simply freeze in place, impossible, but imagine it. It would lose the tension that forms the basis of orbital mechanics. A meltdown or catastrophic shift might follow. On Earth, if you remain static for too many hours, day in and day out, you effectively break the tension your muscles and bones rely upon to maintain strength. Your metabolic systems, designed to handle microbursts of activity throughout the day, become sluggish. Over time, that leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, or poor mood, each compounding in a feedback loop of ill health. The synergy is chilling. Just as the cosmos depends on motion for structure, your body depends on motion for staving off entropy. If entropy, in cosmic terms, leads to the eventual heat death of the universe, maybe in personal terms it manifests as degenerative diseases and early frailty. Hubble's rumored statement might be a clarion call. Stop resisting universal principles of motion, or pay the price with your well-being. But is there any record of Hubble actually adopting an anti-sitting routine? The rumor remains unspecific. Some claim he took methodical walk breaks, urging students or junior researchers to do the same. Others say he wrote letters complaining that the modern office environment was unnatural for humans shaped by eons of evolution and motion. We might recall that Hubble was an athlete in his youth. He excelled in track and basketball, if memory serves, so he presumably cherished movement. Possibly that experience, combined with seeing how desk-bound academics suffered more health issues, led him to make bold pronouncements about the dangers of sedentariness. A few letters even mention that he encouraged short calisthenics during breaks. That synergy is consistent with the rumored statement. If so, planets rotate, and you are sitting. The biggest threat to your health might have become a slogan he repeated in jest, yet with earnest concern. Now, you might be asking, so how do we adapt Hubble's caution to modern life, which demands so much seated screen time? Great question. The rumor presumably suggests that Hubble advocated small but frequent bursts of movement, much like the cosmic principle of continuous orbits. Instead of sitting uninterrupted for hours, break the pattern every 30 or 60 minutes. Stand paced through a short stretch. Let your body taste motion, reminiscent of how planets revolve without end. Possibly he also recommended certain posture checks, ensuring no single muscle group remains in tension or compression for too long. Over time, these micro-movements accumulate, staving off circulatory stagnation, muscle atrophy, or the insulin spikes that come from extended inactivity. That synergy is precisely what modern health experts advise. Sitting is the new smoking, they say, urging desk workers to set timers that remind them to stand or walk briefly. So, ironically, if Hubble recognized this synergy decades before it was mainstream, we see how timeless the cosmic vantage can be. But is it truly the biggest threat to your health, overshadowing smoking, poor diet, or other well-known culprits? Possibly that is rhetorical flourish. Then again, consider how nearly every aspect of daily living can revolve around sitting. Commute, desk job, entertainment. You might be physically inert for 10, 12 hours a day. This chronic immobility can underlie or exacerbate many ailments: heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, back pain. So maybe Hubble is not exaggerating. If you handle smoking or diet to some extent, but remain glued to your seat for most of your waking hours, the net effect might indeed erode your longevity as severely as more notorious risk factors. After all, even if you do a daily 30-minute workout, that might not undo the damage of extended sedentary blocks. The synergy of cosmic perspective plus an unwavering stand against physical inertia might be precisely the impetus we need in modern times. If we truly see ourselves as cosmic beings, shaped by universal motion, how can we betray that birthright by living so passively? To illustrate how we can fix it, perhaps we can propose a routine that merges Hubble's cosmic vantage with the modern desk environment. Suppose you start your day recalling the rumor, planets rotate, and you are sitting, the biggest threat to your health. That rhetorical jab stings your pride. How can you let entire solar systems revolve overhead while you stagnate? You vow to do a simple pattern. Every 30 minutes of desk work, you stand for a minute or two. You might do some squats, a quick walk to the water cooler, or a few simple yoga-like stretches. You do not let an hour pass without some motion. Over lunch, you step outside for a brisk walk, letting fresh air fill your lungs. By day's end, you might accumulate an extra 20 minutes of mild exercise sprinkled throughout the routine. That synergy alone, pushing your body to mimic cosmic motion more frequently, might shift your metabolic baseline. Over months, you see more stable weight, less back pain, a sharper mood. Possibly you reduce your risk of heart issues or diabetes. In short, you align your daily life with the cosmic principle Hubble so loved. Constant motion, subtle but unrelenting. If that synergy indeed fends off a range of ailments, we can see how the rumor's statement might ring with truth. Now let me embed our first question for reflection or comment. Think about your typical day. Are you often planted in a chair for hours on end without realizing it? Do you suspect that a small routine of micro breaks for motion could tangibly elevate your energy or reduce aches if you tried it for a week? Returning to the rumor, we might also delve into the emotional or philosophical dimension. Hubble's cosmic revelations taught the world that the known universe is far grander than we once imagined, that entire galaxies swirl beyond our own, drifting apart at speeds that humble our sense of scale. If everything from subatomic particles to solar systems is in flux, maybe the root of many modern ailments is that we isolate ourselves from that flux, living an artificially static life. The rumor might argue that the biggest threat to your health is not just physical inactivity, but a deeper cosmic dissonance. You act contrary to the fundamental nature of existence, which is dynamic. Over time, that contradiction fosters stress or a sense of existential malaise that can also degrade health. Another subtle synergy emerges. If you remain in motion, you remind yourself daily that you're a part of a universe in perpetual dance. That sense of alignment might quell existential anxiety, further boosting well-being. Indeed, many who adopt a more active lifestyle note improved mental clarity and emotional stability. We can see how the rumor might revolve around a cosmic lifestyle stance, not just a health tip. Possibly that is the deeper reason planets rotate, and you are sitting. The biggest threat to your health remains a potent phrase, bridging astronomy's wonder with everyday bodily demands. We might question whether Hubble left any written guidelines. The rumor is that he occasionally teased colleagues about how nature is never still. Why should we be? Or that he wrote letters urging younger astronomers to resist the desk-bound trap, ironically referencing the universal expansion that he discovered. But no formal treatise stands. Possibly the tensions of academic life overshadowed any attempt to publicize these personal convictions. Or maybe it felt too trivial to him, overshadowed by grand cosmic studies. So the rumor remains an oral tradition among certain science historians, a snippet that invites us to take a cosmic hint for living. The question is whether we heed it or continue allowing modern convenience to stifle our biological heritage as creatures designed for motion. Hence, the synergy is straightforward. You were made to move like planets revolve. Defy that pattern, and disease will eventually claim your vitality. The phrase, the biggest threat to your health, might seem extreme, but so do the statistics linking prolonged sitting to major morbidity factors. The rumor's rhetorical flourish aside, it is arguably more apt now in our digital age than it was in Hubble's era. If he found it disturbing then, imagine his reaction if he saw how glued we are to screens and chairs in the 21st century. Possibly he would intensify his statement, planets revolve at cosmic speeds, yet you revolve around your phone and a desk. That is not how you were meant to align with the cosmos. Or so the rumor might evolve if adapted today. The net result is the same. We must reclaim motion as part of daily life, lest we degrade from within. Movement is a form of cosmic unity, if you will. In a sense, we revolve to remain in step with the universal symphony. So, how do we integrate that into a daily plan? Let's outline a final blueprint. Start your morning with a cosmic perspective. If you recall the rumor, Hubble recognized universal expansion, So maybe you read a snippet about space or recall a cosmic image. Let that hint remind you that existence is in motion. Commit to micro breaks from sitting. Set a timer or app that every 30 or 45 minutes you stand, walk around, do a few squats or calf raises. The synergy is consistent small movements, not a single large workout overshadowed by a day of idleness. If possible, incorporate a midday walk or a short cycling session. The rumor might suggest that Hubble believed in exposing your mind to open sky or nature as well, like glimpsing the stars from an observatory. So connect your short activity to a breath of fresh air, or at least gaze at the sky. This fosters a cosmic vantage that stirs your sense of wonder, fueling motivation to keep active. If your job demands extended screen time, perhaps adopt a standing desk for part of the day or hold some phone calls standing. That merges the cosmic principle of motion with modern constraints. Hubble's rumored wisdom does not require you to ditch technology, just to integrate motion within it. Reflect. At day's end, briefly note how often you allowed yourself to remain immobile for more than an hour. If you see you repeatedly sat for 2-3 hours at a stretch, vow to do better tomorrow. The synergy is daily accountability, like a star check that ensures your body remains in orbital motion, never stuck in a gravitational pit of inactivity. Over weeks, track changes in posture, mood, or minor physical ailments. Possibly your back pain recedes, where you find yourself more alert mid-afternoon. That positive feedback cements the habit. Soon, you might become an evangelist of the rumored statement, planets rotate, and you are sitting. The biggest threat to your health, because you see the difference in your own life. Now let me pose the second question for reflection or comment. If you truly integrated micro-movements and short activity bursts throughout your day, standing up every half hour, adding a few stretches, ensuring you do not remain slouched for indefinite periods, how do you imagine your body and mind would feel after a month? Could that small shift reduce potential health issues or bolster your daily energy? As we near the conclusion, we see how the rumor that Edwin Hubble is shocked, planets rotate, and you are sitting, the biggest threat to your health, stands as a vivid wake-up call. If an astronomer who deciphered cosmic expansion believed that human inactivity is a dire hazard, we might do well to listen. The synergy is that motion is a cosmic law, repeated from electrons swirling around nuclei to galaxies drifting in cosmic webs. For life forms to flourish, they must remain in motion at some scale. By defying it, we create an internal vacuum that fosters disease. The rumor's flamboyance underscores a fundamental truth. Ignoring your birthright of movement accelerates breakdown. Meanwhile, reclaiming that movement daily fosters resilience that can stave off old age complications, letting you remain flexible and engaged. That synergy might be the best homage to Hubble's cosmic revelations. If the universe never stands still, neither should we. One might find it ironic that a man who spent nights in an observatory meticulously measuring faint galaxies recognized the peril of sitting. But perhaps precisely because he spent so much time glued to telescopes or analyzing data, he felt the aches, the creeping stiffness, the emotional slump that arises from inactivity. Observing the night sky's endless motion might have hammered home how unnatural it is for living creatures to remain inert. If we trust the rumor, his shock was discovering just how dire the long-term health toll can be, thus labeling it the biggest threat. Exaggeration or not, the principle stands. A cosmic vantage underscores that movement is life, stasis is decay. The biggest question remains whether we will incorporate that lesson or let ourselves drift into an inert state that, ironically, speeds our physical decline. If Hubble's caution resonates, we might choose to revolve in small arcs each day, reminding ourselves that planets never stop. And so we wrap up, leaving you with the impetus to examine your day for extended sitting spells. If you find them, break them up. If you already do, push a bit further. Maybe adopt a new hobby that fosters frequent motion, dance, short nature walks, or even playful moments chasing your kids around. Each step aligns you more with the cosmic dance, distancing you from the slow creep of diseases born of stagnation. Because in the final reckoning, neither star nor planet stands still. Why should you? If you take that to heart, you might just harness the same cosmic energy that fueled Hubble's revelations, transforming your days from a slump of inertia into a personal orbit of vitality, warding off the specter of chronic disease. If that is not a fitting tribute to the astronomer's rumored statement, then nothing is.